Hello, everyone. It is. Now I can't without my glasses. I'm screwed. It's almost 7 o'clock in the afternoon. I usually don't make afternoon videos because I'm usually too busy fucking around in the afternoon and wasting time. Anyways, hello, welcome to the Spokane Experience. My name is Cameron Vesey. So today, there's a very interesting. Well, I mean, not interesting. It's a kind of sad article report on the news today about the problem with Spokane's public school systems. It's about 5 minutes long. When I first started watching it, like I put a comment down here, being harassed in school is not criminal. Teachers giving preference to certain minorities and marginalized kids, as in they can get away with anything, might be. And I always comment before the video's over. So sometimes the video will go on, and I'm not sure now. I definitely changed my opinion. So if you have 5 minutes, go ahead and listen with me here. And if not, just click forward 5 minutes and.
We begin tonight with a mother who says her son was harassed and assaulted at a Spokane public school, and she doesn't feel the school did much to help. Now this as the school district is now under review by the FBI and the Spokane Police Department for complaints that the district is not reporting violent crimes happening at school.
This is part of an ongoing Krem 2 investigation into the newer...
All right, I have to stop here because, so originally I was going to talk about, because I still will. So I'm from Spokane, born and raised. And when I was 8 years old, I was arrested for second-degree assault with a deadly weapon. I must be a horrible person. I kind of am. But anyways, to this very day, I wasn't necessarily, whatever bad tendencies I might have had or course corrections I needed on the trajectory of my life, to this very day, being thrown in juvenile detention or jail, because there's almost no difference. Cement fucking room with a big cement fucking bed with a mat on it, same steel fucking toilets, steel fucking sink, with a little slash of a window that looked down on the courtyard, the basketball court where juveniles play, and then big old walls. 8 years old, second degree assault. I wasn't even allowed to leave that room, like most kids, because I was red flagged. That's what they called it back then, because it was second degree assault with a deadly weapon. But I was only 8 years old. I was at the time the youngest violent offender to ever be booked for second degree. I'm not sure. There's maybe been 10 kids, 15 kids in the last 50 years that have been arrested for second degree assault with a deadly weapon. I mean, I'm unique. What can I say? So anyway, so this topic is near and dear to my heart. Oh, what I was going to say though is, I look back. The first night in juvie, I think I cried for the first 2-3 days, just straight, just bawled for straight first 2 days. I remember being on the bed, on the mat, with the wool fucking blankets, and just praying to God that I could wake up the next day. And it was all just a bad dream. I changed everything. I changed the way I changed it all. I just woke up the next day, and it was all just a bad dream. I'm 47. I still sometimes hope I wake up the next day, and it was all just a fucking long bad dream. Anyways, it didn't help the trajectory of my life whatsoever. And I'll talk to you a little bit about that after we get to this. But the reason I stopped the video, I could get going, is, do you think if this is what? Okay, so this is what stuck out to me. God damn it! Do what you're supposed to do.
Begin tonight with a mother who says her son was harassed and assaulted at a Spokane public school, and she doesn't feel the school did much to help. Now, this as the school district is now under review by the FBI and the Spokane Police Department.
Now, Biden's Department of Justice. If you're a Locals fan and you're watching this, y'all know what I'm talking about. Biden's Department of Justice, the Attorney General for the United States of America. We can look him up. Has called parents who go to school board meetings and say they don't want CRT taught to their kids in our schools get labeled as domestic terrorists. Now, so I don't know if this isn't a FBI and Spokane police trying to find more power, more areas to police so they can hire more people, so because their unions need more jobs, their unions need more crime, so they can justify more officers, and look, if you watch me at all, I've always said from day one, defunding the police is fucking insane. I've also said handcuffing our cops instead of criminals is also insane, and that's what they do with the homeless. That's what they do with now with petty theft. Cops can't arrest people for criminal acts because the jail's too full, and the liberals won't build a bigger one because they'll just fill it. Yes, that's why we need it, and conservatives don't want a new jail because they don't want to pay for it. So it's a win-win for the crooks, which I used to be one, professionally almost. And my problem, it's not that I want more petty thefts or I don't know. So, fuck, this is going to get long. Growing up, I knew as a agent, someone with their own agency, I was self-aware pretty early on. Not that I was smart. You think that'd be an advantage. I always knew between right and wrong. I knew when I was doing something immoral, stealing, thieving, sleeping with your daughter. I knew right from wrong. Okay, so I didn't hate the cops because they were cops per se, as much as I didn't like them because they were on the other team and I didn't want to get caught. But when I did get caught, and I've for the most part always been this way, you do your time. I got caught. I was breaking the rules. I was breaking the law. Maybe I deserved it. Maybe I didn't. You do your time. And I've generally got back out in society and tried to be a good guy again. I tried to be a good guy. I want to be I want to be Luke Skywalker. I don't think I am. The band, the rap group. No. Whew. So, and I think that's the difference between a lawbreaker, that's what I am, and a criminal and a predator. I have a, what do they call it? You reject authority. God damn, I can't believe we said. So I have a inner deep need to jump the system. Why can't I think of the word? Anyway, God damn it. That's the ADD, ADHD, AD, whatever you want to call it. Drugs. I'm not on drugs. Not going to be, so whatever. Okay, so let's get going. Let's get to the point. So there's benefits to the crooks by going to jail. Even if they're not drug addicts. I was an alcoholic, so that's a lot less. You only need 2 or 3 days to clean up and go through detox if you're not like full blown fucking stupid drunk. So it was an ability to get your head right, to get your plans right, So when you get out, you could try to get back on the wagon of society and sobriety and whatever you needed. Oh, wow, this is so far off top. Okay, so Biden's DOJ is targeting parents that aren't stepping in line with this awful, awful indoctrination of our kids called CRT, critical race theory. It's a real thing. Plus the fucking, they're grooming your kids to be gay. They're grooming your kids to be bisexual. They're grooming your kids to have more problems in their life than they fucking already are going to have, because everybody has problems. And that is not their job. It's actually counter to their job, nor their responsibility, nor their right to do. And teachers are speaking up about this. And Biden's Department of Justice has labeled those teachers domestic terrorists. So is that what's going on here? I don't know. But when I listened to this the second time, I went, oh, well, maybe that's what
Department for complaints that the district is not reporting violent crimes happening at school.
This is part of an ongoing Krem to...
So, violent crimes. 8 years old, third grade. I took a knife to school, but I hid it outside of school because, I'm smart. They'll catch me if you don't bring it into school. And here's the other thing is, because there's teachers around, stuff like that, when I was getting bullied, they wouldn't bully me at school. They would chase me after school. So I stabbed two of them. I wasn't trying to, well, not really. I thought if I pulled this big fucking kitchen knife out, that's why I had to hide it outside, couldn't fit it in my pocket, that big, they would run. I would have ran. I'm not, why would you fuck with somebody with a big kitchen knife like Michael Myers? Because they're stupid. They're bullies. So I knifed two of them. That's assault. I'm not sure what these kids are dealing with is actually assault. They're fucking, they make snowflakes look like titanium.
Investigation into the newer safety model adopted by the district that discourages involving law enforcement. Krem 2's Laura Pepetti is joining us live.
I'm sorry. I wish I could just get through this without interrupting. They're right. The Spokane teachers, they're right. You don't want the cops involved if you can avoid it, because as I was telling you before, it doesn't change the kid in question for good, right? Getting slapped in the face by a bully isn't assault in my book. It's not assault. Not right. It's fighting. It's kids testing boundaries, and if you don't let them do that, you don't want the cops involved because you're creating monsters that way. Both sides. You're creating monsters. I don't want to put anybody in my family members on blast. But they don't, nobody. My nephew, who's a great adult now, I'm very impressed with you, Seth. I love you. I'm so proud of you, Dad, all that. Keep it together, son. Always here for you, buddy. He grew up without a dad. And my mother, I love her to death, but she was grandma. And she spoiled the shit out of me and Andrea. Times that by 10 with Seth. And everybody knew it. And my sister took advantage of that. And the kid had a fucked up fucking first 10, 12 years. Let's just say that. So he was a little bit, a lot of only child syndrome, plus no father figure, no solid father figure. His granddad, Terry, I wasn't around much, even though they claim I wasn't around much, but they claim I'm responsible for all the problems in their life. But, anyways, so I wasn't there enough to be, not that I was a good example either. Anyways, so the kid goes to Mount Spokane High School, freshman year. I was living with Mom. I was paying rent. We won't get into that. And Seth was getting bullied at school. Because he was kind of a brat. Because he was a only child and, I'll take my ball and leave. And I can just stay in my own little world, which is not good. You can't. Society doesn't work that way. He was a little bit unable to handle, especially a preppy school where they're all rich. They all got a solid family. They've all grew up together. They've got their cliques. He was an outsider there. And these fucking kids would tease him and fuck with him a lot. And eventually they goaded him into saying he had a list. They goaded him into it. They knew what they were doing. This is what I'm trying to say. It creates monsters on that side because the good kids, which no kids are good, they're all fucking bad or they're all good. Kids are fucking kids. Kids are kids. All right? You have to fucking take that dynamic into question. Will punish their enemies. Okay? So, this is going to be a long one. I still remember being 8 years old and thinking how serious it was that I was getting bullied by the brothers. I won't put them under the gun, but there's two brothers. One was my age. One was in 6th grade. I was in 3rd grade. And because me and Joe were fat, we were considered two of the toughest kids in fucking grade school. Because in grade school, being fat equates to being tough. I don't know. So I took that really seriously. Now, I would fight him because I'm a pretty aggressive person in school one-on-one because I figured I could handle either one of them one-on-one. And they kind of fucking knew it. But they also had a father and mother at home, so they didn't want to get grounded, which I wasn't worried. I was always grounded. I was always in trouble. They didn't want to get in trouble with their parents, so they wouldn't fuck with me at school. They'd wait till after school, especially if it's their word against my word after school, right? All right. I told my parents, and they say, ignore them, they'll go away. Wrong. But it was a life and death situation for me at the time. But now if you go back, if I look at some 8-year-olds in the grade school fucking courtyard, nobody's life is in danger, from getting beat up by another 3rd grader. They're not martial artists. They're not Joe Rogans. They're not fucking, little Conor McGregors. It would almost be cute to watch them fight for about, 15, 20 seconds. I was never in any real danger. Even though there was 5 of them, Joe, his brother, Jeff McGuire, I think Landon was there. Landon was my buddy, but he wasn't my buddy when they were chasing me. Landon, Jeff McGuire, Joe, James. I think there was another one, but maybe it was 4. 4 on 1 is still more than I could handle. Not now, motherfucker. Fucking pussies right now. Never mind. I'm not necessarily a good person. But anyway, so I was actually stealing my neighbor's bike when they weren't looking, riding to school and riding home and putting it back because they couldn't catch me that way. Because nobody was doing anything. And it was very, very serious to me at the time. I still remember how serious it was. I could look at kids and go, oh, that's funny. It's still in my brain a very serious situation. Those fights are serious to these kids. Those are serious situations. And as adults, we need not to go, oh, well, they're just bullies. No. Yeah, nobody's in danger, but to them, it's fucking real. All right. As real as they claim it is most of the time. So, involving the police, right? Now, I don't know. So, I don't know the situation good enough here. But for the school to going to juvenile at 8 years old, seriously altered the course of my life. I became a professional. You don't want your kid to become a professional, go into jail person. You don't want your kid to suffer a day or two in a cement sale. It fucking kills a little part of your fucking soul every fucking time. Sure, after quarter of your soul's gone, what's a little bit more? But those first experiences are traumatizing in the extreme. You don't want the cops involved, not only for the kid that's kind of fucked up in the head, possibly, but so we don't. Kids they're fucking smarter than you fuckers. They're smarter than you probably. If I know about cops and wokeness, I can trick a socially unadept child that I don't like. I'm a child. I am a child, but I meant back then. It gets okay. So if I'm a young child, 7 to 15, even, hopefully by the time they're 18, they're over all that shit. But 9 to 15, there's a lot of fucking bullshit going on in those cliques. That's when it's really fucking weird. All right. Usually by a junior year or those guys are matured enough, have other things going on that they're not worried about that younger, the bottom of the hierarchy crap. So if I want to get back at a kid because we're beefing or whatever you want, I don't know what the fucking word is, and they're so strict and I know the rules, I know how the game's played, I will make him out to be a violent kid. Even though I'm the violent one, I'm passive aggressive. See, they're rewarding passive aggressive behavior because most of these fucking teachers are passive aggressive and they hate aggressive people. They're both just as dangerous. They're both just as fucking wrong. Being passive aggressive is just as much of a character flaw as being aggressive. I don't know if that makes any sense. All right. Wow, this is going to take a while. This is an important subject to me, and I do have experience in it. So, the school board is right. You don't want to involve the cops if you don't have to.
I'm in the studio tonight with the story and how a mom says it's just not working. Laura?
That's right. We've been talking with parents and teachers about violence in the schools and how the district is responding. And the district says they have been working on this new model since about 2015, and it was really put into action in 2020.
That's crazy. 2015 is about I'll have to look this up and I'll get back to you, is right when they started implementing the woke CRT, woke, white people are fucking, men are bad. Back then it was toxic masculinity was killing everything. It was horrible. Anyways, so that sounds about right. They've been working on these dumb policies, right, about not letting kids play. So if we get into it, by not allowing kids to be bullies, makes the bullying worse when it happens and harder to catch and more severe when it happens. It's not good. You need this shit out in the open so that the teachers can know when it's going on. You don't fucking throw them out of school. You say, hey, y'all need to learn to get along. I'll get to that here in a second.
However, it's been a lot of new information to many parents that we've been talking to. So we've been requesting interviews with the district. And today, Krem 2 was scheduled to hear from the district and get some answers to our questions about this newer disciplinary model. But the district canceled that media conference. The district instead...
Well, why would they fucking go... Krem 2 is on the cops' side. Krem 2 is on the FBI side. Krem 2... The media is a branch of the Democratic machine now. All of it. Spokesman Review. I don't know. Krem 2 puts more of their shit on YouTube. I don't watch TV unless it's football, which is fucking going woke too. God, I hate this fucking reality. So why would the school district, if they're trying to do something that isn't woke and isn't CRT, trying to fix the situation appropriately as any classically educated conservative teacher might want. Notice how I threw that in there. Why would they talk? Spokane is only going to try to fucking use everything they say against them and twist it and turn it. Yeah. I don't blame them for not wanting to talk to any media. Media is corrupt. Media is sick.
Sent a letter that says, quote, we are unable to answer any questions that could be perceived as relating to the current FBI review.
Yeah, the FBI is reviewing fucking grade schools and high schools. Are you fucking serious? Are you fucking serious? I can't believe we allow this shit to happen in Spokane. It's not their fucking place. The FBI should not be in our public schools, period. Period. What could possibly be going on in the public schools for the Federal Bureau of Investigations? They're supposed to be dealing with interstate commerce, bootlegging, RICO acts, drug transfer, not our fucking public school systems, our local public school systems. That's not their jurisdiction, but they're bored. They've ran out of fucking criminals, and now they need something to fucking do. It's almost that fucking simple. Oh, I'm not going to make it through here.
However, we did talk with a local mother who says after her son was bullied for reporting some on-campus vandalism and then later assaulted. She says the school really didn't plan on calling police. However, she did. Here's her story.
There has long been more to school than reading, writing, and arithmetic.
No, there's not. Reading, writing, and arithmetic have been the core of public schools. That's what you're there for. Back in the 20s and 40s and 60s, you weren't there to socialize. Of course, you got recess, you had sports and other things like that. But you were there to learn, not be babysit, not to get a lunch, not to get fed, right? No. That is the core. That is the premise of school, period.
It has become a safe haven for many kids. But according to
Which
some
is
parents
fucked
that have
up.
reached out to Krem too, some of the kids causing the violence are being protected at the cost of their own kids. The mom we spoke with says halls once serving as protected pathways can be just plain scary for victims of violence.
All right, victims of fucking violence. So, victims of motherfucking violence. So, in the old Rogers High School, not only did we have a smoking area, right, which, that's where the stoners and which I'm pretty sure 3 to 4 high schools all had smoking areas when I was in high school. Rogers had something called the back hall. Ooh. There were kids that wouldn't go through the back hall at certain times of the day because it was dangerous. No, it was rowdy. Okay, it was fucking rowdy. Like fucking me and Matt Tolan used to go around in the back hall, and take a little pin. Okay, hey, let me get a drink of that pop, and we would cut a little hole in the bottom of the pop and hand it back to them. And when they took a drink, it poured down their fucking shirt. Yeah, you went through the back hall at your own risk. It wasn't that bad. No, it was just rowdy. It was a long, kind of dark back hall. It went behind the stage of the auditorium and where the gyms and the locker rooms were, and and it was the back hall. Like some kids just wouldn't go there unless they had to go to class. Many a boy was molested by many a girl back there. I don't know, whatever. I just don't believe these people understand what assault is. A fight between two growing boys, teens, preteens, is not assault. It's a natural process of growth, of maturity, and it needs to be expressed. It needs to be guided. It needs to be there has to be some amount of acceptance of it, or it becomes repressed. It becomes repressed, and then it'll show itself in really fucked up ways, either at school or later on. We don't want that. All right.
The school to stand up and really acknowledge what's going on.
Corey is a mother of a high school freshman at Spokane Public Schools. Not wanting to identify herself for fear of retaliation against her son, who she says is already a victim of violence that's going unreported by the school.
It's been nonstop. My son will even text me through the day, almost weekly. They have lots.
Okay, so I don't know the story behind here. It's hard for this victim could have a hover mom, a helicopter mom, a enabling mom who lets her kid's never at fault. And this kid is spoiled and is setting these other kids up. Probably not as smart as this kid. The dumb kids always will get frustrated and slap you upside the head. What I didn't hear at all. See, this is the appropriate way. This mother, and she's got a wedding ring. Hopefully, I don't know. Is it his dad? Is it a different dad? I don't know. I'd like to know that situation because the dad, at this fucking point right here, I don't go to the school. I say, who are the kids? Who are their parents? I'm talking parent to parent with the other parent saying, what's going on here? Is my kid lying? Is your kid lying? Doesn't really matter. We need to figure this fucking out like people in society do. Not leave it till the fucking school has to get involved. Not leave it till the cops get involved because no one wins when that happens.
Lockdowns, fighting in the halls, claiming they have guns or knives or all.
Okay, so knives are pretty easy to get. Knives aren't necessarily going to be like guns in schools. Especially right now. The crime's on the rise. Crime is so on the rise. It's hard. So now, if these are bullies who, okay, so jocks at Rogers, we're tough to have to, they're such schmucks, right? But in the end, they were jocks. They were going to go on and get married and have kids, maybe go to college, maybe do whatever they do. They're fucking annoying. And sometimes they threw some kids in the garbage cans and maybe smacked them around a little bit. And that's not, but they're jocks, all right? They're not lawbreakers. I mean, they thought they were cool at the time. And, most people did. I mean, whatever. They're all right. But they're not bad kids. They're just assholes. And they still are, a lot of them. Whatever. One to talk, Cameron. So, when they talk about getting assaulted at school, is it a jock? Is it a bully? Or are we talking about a group of kids that are fucking actually dangerous? Because that can't happen. So, we had a group of those kids. They were called the schoolboys. As far as I know, Spokane's first badass fucking gang. I mean, they were, for whatever they were, I won't name names, but we all know who they were. They were fucking dangerous, right? Two other kids after school, at parties, even in the 20s and, get in the bar. The schoolboys in Spokane, which, started Rogers, was a real thing, all right? And they were a level of threat that we don't want in our schools. That being said, though, I don't know. So if that's what these kids are, a schoolboy gang-like group of kids, and this kid is an honest kid, isn't trying to take advantage of the victimhood culture of society, that's a problem. If the school are protecting them, if they're minorities, or if they're poor kids, or if they're protecting a clique of dangerous kids, right? Not jocks, not just a bully who's just kind of an asshole, but a group of kids who are actually willing to perform violent acts on other students and cliques. That's a problem. That's different than the natural progression of young boys, right? And life's hard. You know, I don't got an easy answer here. I'm just giving my perspective because, well, you know, I've been through a lot of shit, especially in junior high, especially in grade school, especially in high school. And I was an athlete, and I was a badass, but I was no jock. But, you know, I had buddies that were jocks. I mean, played football, love those guys. We still, my jock friends are still my buddies, you know. It's a team. That's called growth. That's called maturity. That's called forming a bond that's hard to break even over years because, you know, you ate grass together. You know, coach pitched you both out and made you run fucking 100 miles. Whatever. That's called character development. That's called society. You don't want cops and the FBI involved in that. But if you've got a group of kids, white, black, Native American, Italian, Irish, whatever, that are grouping together and are willing to enact actual violence, not scuffles, you know, more like meet after school and we're going to get down like with fucking the down. Yeah, that needs to be taken care of. But I'm pretty sure our local cops can do that. Listen, we don't need the FBI to handle high school gangs. Police, detectives, sheriffs, I'm all... The fucking BI? Come on now. They're going to find someone. They don't fuck around. The Federal Department of Investigation will find someone. They're not going to spend their time looking in high schools and not find someone. That's a problem. That's a serious problem. Because the level of the damage you can be doing to someone and their fucking life, and then the damage by fucking that life up, they'll do to other lives. In the long run, get the fucking FBI out of our fucking schools. Oh. All right. Obviously, this has upset me. Obviously, we need to get the FBI and the police off the backs of our fucking teachers. I will say that right now. But we also need to get these fucking teachers to stop the CRT and victimhood type fucking teaching of fucking the alphabet fucking group, of the fucking racism and all fucking that bullshit. Get back to teaching social studies. Get back to teaching science, biology, math, English, typing. Get back to teaching our fucking kids and coaching them on the field, on the tennis courts. Get a fucking instrument. Teach them how to fucking play in the band. Whatever it is, leave the societal things out. There's going to be plenty of that to come. So yeah, I'm on both sides here. Get the fucking FBI out of our fucking schools. Right the fuck now. Get these CRT teachers, get these victimizing teachers who think they got to change the name of our schools because of my racism out of our fucking schools. You're not there to fucking change history. You're not there to make up for history. You're not here to right the wrongs of any past. You're there to teach our fucking kids so that they can think for themselves. You're not there to indoctrinate them about Christianity. You're not there to indoctrinate them about Muslim. And you're certainly not there to indoctrinate them with woke fucking CRT shit. And that's my fucking take. Thank you for joining me today. I'm sorry if I yelled or offended anyone, because if I did, fuck off.